If you hear some beeping in the background, it is I just microwaved myself some hot water and I'm too lazy to take it out, so I'm gonna have to microwave it again after this video. There it is. And also, you will hear a dog snorting, snoring, all sorts of stuff. I know it's distracting. I'm sorry, but she's my baby and she wants to be by my feet at every second. And there's nothing I can do about that. Nothing I want to do about that. Happy Thanksgiving. Um, I hope you're spending time with loved ones. I hope that you are having a great day. For those of you who are alone today, I'm sorry. And I know it's hard. I'm so grateful that even with all of the loss I've had in my life, that I still have people with me. It's not a brag. I empathize with everyone who this is as wonderful as holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas and Hanukkah and New Year's Day and all of them could be. Oh, they can be miserable if you're alone. So miserable and so triggering. So absolutely triggering if you are alone. So happy Thanksgiving. And also, I'm with you for everybody who's alone. I'm going to go back to grandma's in a little bit. I wanted to record a video. I went to go feed my dogs and I was staring at my computer and I thought, let's do something to talk about what I'm grateful for. And let's make it about the Seattle Mariners because, hey, this is mostly a Mariners channel. There's a bunch of other stuff, but it's mostly a Mariners channel. Let's talk about what I'm grateful with the Seattle Mariners. I am grateful to Justin Hollander and Jerry Dipoto. And if you want to change the order, so be it. But I'm grateful to them because they have built a roster that is flawed, to be sure, but sustainably good. I think they've built a roster that suggests that they're going to be in the conversation for a long time. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I know that the Seattle Mariners floor, now, obviously, if something catastrophic and unforeseeable happens, then the floor for any Major League Baseball team becomes much lower than this. But it sure feels like the floor of this baseball team to me is 80 to 85 wins. That could be a heck of a lot worse. A heck of a lot worse. Can question the ceiling. I think we saw the ceiling's pretty decent for this team, too. I think we saw that the ceiling for this team is pretty decent, too. By the way, it's obviously a different floor for the offense, but because of the pitching, we know what the floor of this team is. I am super grateful for Julio Rodriguez. I wish more people appreciated him the way I do. And if you just want to call me a big apologist or whatever, so be it. I'm happy with where I am, and you're probably happy with where you are. But I sure am appreciative of Julio Rodriguez. I'm appreciative of a guy who is 24 years old, who was finished in the top 10 in MVP voting 3 times. 3 times. And that's with some dreadful starts and some mixed play in between, too. Still has been a top 10 MVP vote getter 3 times in 4 seasons. That's incredible. What he does with the glove, on the bases, and with the bat. What a superstar. I'm super grateful for Jorge Polanco. I don't think we talked enough. Well, we didn't get a chance to because of what changed, right? Jorge Polanco, outside of 1 month, was one of the very best infielders in baseball, or designated hitters, if you want to call him that. Doesn't matter. He was a huge part of their success in 2025. I'm super grateful for Randy Arozarena. Your defense drives me nuts, but the fact that you have such underratedly good plate appearances, that ability to draw those walks, that flair for the dramatic. I know I wish I would have seen it more in the postseason, but hey, you're one of the chief reasons that you got there. I'm super grateful that I got to watch Ben Williamson play defense this year. I know the bat isn't as anything close to special, That and I still am kind of mad at Baseball Savants a little bit. I think the metrics just don't even begin to tell the story of how good that guy was with the glove. He was so good. I'm grateful for JP Crawford. The fact that I want to move on is more compliment to what I expect or need from my shortstop than insult to him. The approach is still so good. So many clutch moments. That walk-off homer against Texas. How great was that? I'm obviously super grateful for Josh Naylor. Josh Naylor, what a pickup. And I'm grateful for the Gino pickup too, Eugenio Suarez, and I'm incredibly grateful for that home run he hit. Maybe the biggest home run in Mariners history, probably the biggest home run in Mariners history, maybe not the biggest hit. Swung on and line down the left field line. That's obviously the biggest hit, and I'm super grateful for that moment. But Josh Naylor was just incredible. And there was something we talked about in the video. There was something about adding him that just kind of, and hindsight 2020, all that crap, but there was something about it that changed with that team in that clubhouse. I'm so grateful for Josh Naylor. I am super grateful for the entire rotation. Brian Wu was their best starter by a long shot. Luis Castillo was their most consistent starter, I think. No, it's still Wu, but Luis Castillo was excellent. George Kirby made some adjustments. There were some more clunkers there, but we'll talk about those during the videos. Logan Gilbert's ability to miss bats. Bryce Miller, what he did in the postseason. I feel like I'm missing one. Incredibly grateful for Andre Spire had from that year. Cal Raleigh. I could cry thinking about the year Cal Raleigh gave us. And those of you who have been following me for a long time know that I've been a big Cal Raleigh fan since he was at Florida State. I thought they got one of the steals of the draft in the third round. No one could have anticipated him being this. Outside of maybe Cal Raleigh, there's some videos of him famously calling himself the home run derby champ. I think we forget about that sometimes too. On top of hitting 60 home runs, on top of hitting 5 home runs, including what was the biggest home run until the Suarez Grand Slam in Mariners history to tie that game at 2-2. This guy won the home run derby and did it while playing. It was his defense as good as last year? No. Does a lot of that have to do with the fact that he caught like 187 games? Maybe a little hyperbolic. Yeah. I'm still disappointed he didn't win MVP. I get it. I firmly disagree. And even though I'm grateful for analytics, I would be grateful. I would be Hansel and Gretel for more context when we make award voting. Don't just look at a Fangraphs or a Baseball Reference leaderboard and say, "Oh, that's the MVP." And don't just base it on home runs and RBIs either. Context. I will be super grateful if people add more context to award voting going forward. And I'll be very grateful to everyone who votes Felix Hernandez into the Hall of Fame. I'm grateful for pain. I've experienced a lot of it. And I have to thank my buddy Stephen Colbert. We've never met. We never will, mate. but his attitude towards appreciating what life gives you, even when it's bad. And I'm not going to get super religious on this podcast, this YouTube channel, whatever it is. Um, but appreciating the gifts that we get. You don't get to pick and choose. Now, this is just my opinion, and obviously Stephen Colbert's opinion too, and a few other, but I understand if you don't feel this way, but this has helped me a lot. You don't get to pick and choose what you're grateful for. You don't get to pick. You don't get to just ignore the bad. You have to take the bitter with the better. And you have to appreciate both. You don't have to like both. You don't have to settle for both, but you have to appreciate both because you can't have one without the other. If you can, congratulations. I'm grateful for the hurt because it makes the great feel even better. And on top of how I've felt, I think it applies for the Seattle Mariners even more so. Maybe not even more so, but more equal, close to equal. I'm grateful for the Mariners breaking my heart. Because you can't have your heart broken if you don't love. And I'm so grateful that I still love this stupid baseball team as much as I do. I'm grateful for the terrible decision Dan Wilson made. And I'm grateful for Dan Wilson too, because of him keeping that clubhouse as good as he did, excuse me. He's got work to do as a manager. But I'm grateful that he was able to, in a year where he made a lot of mistakes, my personal opinion, he was able to still lead this team to being within 8 outs of the World Series. I'm very grateful for that. And I'm very grateful for the heartbreak that the Seattle Mariners gave me. And if you want to say that this is, I'm not mad, I'm actually laughing or something like that, go for it. You've seen the video I did of how devastated I was. So I know that it hurt. Oh my gosh, did it hurt? And it still hurts. I will never be able to watch a replay of that game. There are 3 games in my life that I will never be able to watch a replay of. Super Bowl 48, Game 5 of the 1992-93 Western Conference first round, the Sonics, bring them back, against the Nuggets, and Game 7. I'll never be able to rewatch that game. And it sucks because I'd love to watch Julio and Cal's homers from that game. Maybe they'll show up in a highlight reel and I'll accidentally watch it, but I'll never be able to rewatch it. So I'm not saying that devastation is good, but I'm appreciative of that heartbreak. It's a weird thing, I know, but I am really appreciative of heartbreak. I'm appreciative that it still hurts my, you know what, off. That anytime I think about my mom or Skip or my grandfather or my dog, I'm very grateful for Molly. You can hear her snorting in the background probably right now. Very grateful for Minnie. She's a turd, but I love her. I'm grateful for them, but boy, I miss Lola. Boy, oh boy, do I miss Lola. And I'm grateful for that heartbreak. Being grateful for sadness has probably helped my depression more than anything. There's been some good medication, but realizing that you have to be grateful for the gifts that you are given and that you don't get to pick and choose. Oh, it's helped me a lot. And lastly, very grateful for all of you. Goes without saying. I when I started the channel, I had my doubts. I thought I might have a little bit of a niche or niche, but I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure at all. The fact that you guys have stuck with this, even while there's been so much change and so many promises broken, it means a lot. Hey, speaking of appreciation, I appreciate Simply Seattle. Link in the description. And I sure would appreciate you hitting like and subscribe. Happy Thanksgiving. I love you all. I'll be back next week with a bunch of videos. They're pre-recorded, so I don't have to break this promise, but I'm grateful.